Yeah, we
Yeah,
are,
we are.
and
I'm
we're starting to get a
sorry.
little.
I'm sorry.
No,
No,
I'm not
no,
talking
wait a
about you.
minute.
Because
Let
I'm-
Susan finish and then, cause
This
neither
is
one of you
public,
get your,
this is public comment time.
is
This
she
is not,
asking you a
this
question?
is not question and answer. This is public comment time.
Well, it
Okay.
is public comment, but you're
And
gonna
I
have
just
something-
said that
So-
you have a partner. You have a partner that's called Solis and you have a partner that's called Akron. And if you think that there's something awful that's outside of the record in the confidential agreement that they offered, then you need to ask them what it is.
That's not what I'm asking.
That's the
No,
partner of your
no,
body.
no, that's not
That
what I'm
wasn't her
asking.
question.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
during public comment, are we allowed to ask questions of responders during public comment?
We have always had dialogue at the public comment time, just like we did with Charlotte or George a few minutes ago, so I'm not an attorney, but I'm not.
As chair, it's up to you.
We have
to make
always
that call.
allowed that in the past, so I don't know why we wouldn't allow it today. I mean, we've always had dialogue with our public,
It's
so.
up to the chair and me.
Well, I have.
Is there a
I
question that
have-
you're gonna ask me where the answer is and ask Solis, your partner? Is there a question at all?
Mr.
I
Dalton,
think she
you-
was
you
asking
really-
you
No,
why
I'm
you
asking-
dropped
I guess
the
this is a
complaint.
principal thing, and what I'm asking is that if I felt so strongly about something, and I did not involve, I was part of that group, I did not involve myself in this. But if I felt so strongly about something that I would go to court over it, that I would not enter into a confidential agreement. I would want every single person who knew about it to know why I entered into it and what the result was. But I never understood. It was always supposed to be something that benefited the city. And the only thing that I ever saw was the 55% legal fees,
Yeah.
which I think is great. But the other three things that benefited the city never came to light, so.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I've sent you emails about this and you keep on saying it. The maximum yearly principal and interest were stated due to the complaint. And the intergovernmental agreement was not validated due to the complaint. That's 3. And there's one that I just can't remember. So in other words, you keep saying there's 4. I keep telling you about the 4, but you keep on saying that it's not there. So,
Well, I
I mean, I
never
can't
really
remember.
got for because I wasn't
Okay,
part
well,
of it.
you asked me afterwards.
Mhm.
We had discussions about this and I told you.
So there's
And
one.
I
there's
told
one
you, and I
thing.
told you specifically, you have the 55-45 split where the taxpayer is no longer liable for attorney's fees, that's there.
Mhm.
You have the maximum payment and interest, which was a supplement to the petition that was instituted by Earl Taylor
Mhm.
to cure a defect, a failed defect in the so that's a benefit where you actually get the information that you're supposed to have under law. The third one was, what did I just say? Say there?
There was one you didn't remember.
Right, okay.
So those
So I
things all
didn't- I
came
didn't-
back before y'all and y'all
No.
voted
No.
on?
We never heard
That's the
anything.
first- That's the first we.
It's the first we've ever heard of it.
Well,
First
wouldn't
I've
they
ever
had
been
to have
told.
voted on it
It's
if
all
it
part
changed
of,
the
it's
agreement?
all part of public
No,
record.
we heard it
In
was a
fact-
confidential agreement, we were not gonna be
No,
apprised of
this
that.
we're
But
talking
if it
about
was a change
before
to
the
the
confidential
Solis
agreement.
Development Authority thing, wouldn't y'all have to vote on it if it changed the agreement?
I
The
think
only-
he's talking about the issues that the judge raised prior to validation. Is that correct?
Yeah, and if
You're not talking about the confidential agreement because you said you can't talk about
I
that.
can't talk about the confidential agreement.
Well, that's what okay, well then.
If you
never
wanna know
mind.
about the confidential agreement, you can go ask Akron, your partners. That's it. That's it. They're part of it too. You're trying to make it like me, like it's me. No, it's your partners as well. I'm
It's
just
the
saying, I
peop-
think
it's the
I think you
people
guys have a
who
non-disparagement
represent
clause against, with Akron as well. So in other words, if you're saying that there was something dirty or illegal rotten about that deal, then be careful about that.
I don't think
So-
anybody
it.
said
I don't think, I didn't say that, I don't think
Well, I
anybody
mean, I
said
think the
that.
insinuation.
You're saying
No
that,
insinuation,
Sir, I
I say
resent the fact
exactly.
that putting words in my mouth.
and you're
I'm not
saying
had
that
thought
this
of it.
deal is illegal.
Not at all.
But the other deal wasn't illegal.
I respect
but you're-
all that.
But then you accuse us of
Hey,
saying it was illegal.
believe me, I realize that, this is
Brendan,
disappointing.
I don't insinuate, I say exactly what I mean.
Okay,
Same here.
so anyway, May
Okay.
5th,
So go ahead.
2017.
Yeah,
May 5th, 2017, you'll see these next 3 pages are the intergovernmental agreement. They were entered into on May 5th, 2017. The second page of the intergovernmental agreement is section 4.2, just as it was on June 28th of 2016. The authority shall not borrow money and issue it, this is the statutory authority, shall not borrow money and issue its revenue bonds unless it first obtains the approval of the mayor and council of the city of Hapeville. So, there again is the requirement. That was, and at that point, and once again, it's signed by Katrina and Allen, which is fine, but that's just to say, it's there, and it's there not as any knock on any of you guys, it's there for Akron's attorney to see,
Gotcha.
Okay,
okay? Akron's attorney has a duty to his client. You guys don't. You guys are supposed to be arm's length, but anyway. So here we go. What we have here is just a little bit after that, May 5th, July 24th, we have the minutes of the mayor and council. And if you skip to first page, second page, third page, at the very bottom, you'll see that the mayor and council come out of closed session, and Councilman Dimick makes a motion, and Alderman Rass seconds a motion to affirm action taken in executive session regarding a real estate transaction. And the motion carried 4-0. Now, a lot of us know, a lot of us are aware that the transaction that was approved in that motion, 4-0, and executed that day, July 24th of 2017, was the True Hotel Memorandum of Understanding, or Memorandum of Agreement. The Memorandum of Agreement was gone over in closed session, and then it was voted on in closed session, and then it was ratified outside of closed session without any kind of description of what happened. And the reason why you know that is because if you look at the Memorandum of Understanding, it was from July 24th, and that's the only thing that happened on July 24th, where it could have been. So then you go to our charter, and our charter says, ABC 2402C, every official action of the mayor and council shall be recorded in the minutes. Well, an official action can't be
And let me clarify,
ratification.
because I was the chairman of that meeting, okay? Let me clarify that when I called for the motion on that item, I called for the motion based upon the fact that that at that moment, it was a real estate transaction. And typically, real estate transactions, all the minutes from real estate transactions aren't disclosed until the transaction closes.
Well, it's supposed to be the
And
disposition
and that's correct, maybe you're right.
the acquisition and disposition, and at this point, and then once again, that's not the point. The point isn't anything about you guys' behavior at that point. The point is that Mr. Condra and his attorney should have done due diligence and realized that what we need is a resolution. And the reason why I say that is because if you turn the page, you're gonna see, ever since June 28th of 2016, I've known, and all the lawyers who were on that email have known that section 4.2 exists, right? So, actually, I want you to go 2 more pages and see that on the 24th, Wednesday the 24th, I emailed an open records request asking for a copy of the minutes of the mayor and council where council consents to the issuance of bonds by the Development Authority of the City of Hapeville. And you turn back 1 page or 2 pages, and if you turn back 2 pages, you see where John O'Neill is confused on January 26th, and he says, the documents you were requesting may exist, and then come get them. And then on the 31st, I email Tim, or I email John and Tim and everybody else, and I say they're not there. And then Tim responds, this document does not exist. Hey, are you Tim?
I am.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Again.
Brendan Dalton. Again, all right, so the document doesn't exist. So in other words, there are no minutes where mayor and council have okayed this through no fault of the mayor and council. That's not what anybody's saying about this. What we're talking about is Mr. Condra Castleton, or Condra Castleton LLC's expectations in this matter, because it was brought up. So the document doesn't exist as of the 31st, and the very last page, February 6th, the mayor and council, and on the agenda, item 8.6, authorizing resolution, Hapeville 2017 municipal bond. So, January 24th, we didn't know, or we claimed not to know, or whatever. Then, like I say, this isn't city council, and this isn't development authority. This is city staff, attorneys, bond counsel, counsel for Mr. Condra. On February 6th, we know exactly how to do it. We meet in open session and we ask for the authorizing resolution. Now, we all know the subsequent history, and the subsequent history of that is that the council, we didn't achieve 3 votes to pass that. Fine. But This packet shows that there's all kinds of evidence that Mr. Condra and his attorney have known the whole time that they needed an on-the-record vote of the mayor and council to get this thing done, and they never, or that they neither knew or should have known, and they never did it. So this is only responding to whether or not they have some right to come after the city and come after the development authority for the money that they spent in reliance on that deal. And that closes my comments, and thank you very much. Thank you very much, Susan and John. Oh, go ahead.
Wait there, not for you, but it's for Alan. Alan, I know our minutes aren't available usually from past history on council for at least a month, because we have to meet to approve the minutes before they can become public. So, had those minutes, and I apologize for not knowing this, have those minutes from those meetings been subsequently approved by mayor and
To the
council?
best of my knowledge, they have.
Have they been presented to you for approval?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Which ones you talking about, from February
For these
6th?
meetings, for the meetings that were, where these actions were taken as far as approval at the
Like for-
executive session meeting?
Like, for instance, July the 24th, yeah,
Yeah,
and February 6th, yeah.
they have,
So, yeah.
Now, as far as your comment about minutes, we, at some point in the future, we anticipate a meeting management package that the city will implement. Where
Okay.
there'll be probably like a streaming component, and the minutes will be part of the online presentation of the meeting, and they'll be searchable, et cetera, et cetera. So that's coming, but we got more needs than we got money right now.
back to my point though, sometimes it's the timing, because they can't be made public until you
Well,
guys
you can,
vote.
you can post them as draft,
Can you?
yes.
As long as I say draft.
Yeah.
As long as they say draft. So, We're,
And they're supposed to be.
we're trying to get better with that
What's
stuff.
And the drafts are supposed to be available.
48 hours. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you, Ms. Bailey and Mr. Stalvey, for your service.
Okay, George has raised his hand
Just
again.
one quick comment. What you might want to do, because it's available to answer some of your questions, is to read the two transcripts of the two hearings on the Solis bond. It's available. And then to read the other stuff that the judge put in there, including what he said about the intergovernmental agreement. I mean, that's, you can look at it. What happens is that, as I recall, the district attorney, I think if you read that, the judge actually asked if the district attorney was awake in that whole thing. But it might give you a better idea of what was going on.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Do we have executive session now?
we do. So, all right, so we're done with public comment. I think everybody's spoken. So, I will entertain a motion that we recess to go into executive session.
I'll second that.
For what purpose?
For, yeah, for
I think-
real
I
estate.
think the motion should be to go into executive session and then motion to recess. Just for clarity.
Okay, all right, maybe I did.
Because you gotta go in executive session first, then
And then
recess. That allows us the opportunity to clear the room, and then we reconvene.
I apologize, I think I did say
No,
that incorrectly.
I've been doing it incorrectly for years.
Okay. So
I would
entertain a
rescind my
that we
motion and
move
I'll let
into
you make it
executive
properly.
session.
Change my evil way.
All right,
I
I'll
rescind
entertain a
my
motion.
motion
No,
and
go
I'll
ahead.
let you,
All right,
I'm not trying to.
no, I'm learning from you, but.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we go into executive session for the discussion of acquisition of real estate?
Yes.
Or disposition? Acquisition? Acquisition of real estate.
is there a second? All in favor? All
I make a
right,
motion, we
Recess.
recess.
Okay.
all right, all in favor?
101, see?
That's my doorbell, my phone's turned off, I didn't know it worked.